Hey everyone, Mr. DVB here. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about when I personally believe The Last of Us Part 2 will finally be releasing on PS4. I do not know the exact new release date. I don't think anybody does right now. These are just my predictions. As we all found out yesterday, the game has sadly been indefinitely delayed due to logistical reasons caused by the coronavirus. In other words, the physical copies of the game would have been arriving everywhere at different times. This is a problem we are currently seeing with the Final Fantasy VII Remake. It's set to release next Friday, April 10th, but in places like Australia and Europe, people have been receiving copies like a week early because the company had to ship copies early to make sure that people would all be able to play the game around the same time, since shipping is just all screwed up right now with this virus. So I understand why PlayStation had to make this hard choice to delay the game. It sucks because this is something I've been waiting for ever since I played the first game back in 2013 when I was like 11 years old. So it sucks that this has happened, but that's just the reality we're faced with right now. There's obviously bigger things going on, but that was something I was really looking forward to during these next few months of nothing. But yeah, so in this video, I'm going to be talking about when I think the game will possibly be releasing. So it really boils down to two things. And the way I'm kind of judging its release date is off of another video game, The Ghost of Tsushima, which is another PS4 exclusive. That game is releasing June 26th, which is, just roughly under a month after The Last of Us was originally set to release. So, yeah, it all depends really on that game, because if Sony doesn't delay Ghost of Tsushima, and that game still comes out June 26th, then I think we're going to see The Last of Us Part 2 in July, because there's no reason to push it further than July, like August or September. There'd be absolutely no reason if something like Ghost of Tsushima, which is also a massive game, it's made by Sucker Punch, who made the Infamous games, that's a massive PS4 exclusive, and if that doesn't get delayed, then I just don't see The Last of Us Part 2 coming out anywhere past August or September. I just don't see that happening. I think July would be its release date. How far into July? I think they'd want to give Ghost of Tsushima some breathing room. So my guess is most likely 3 weeks or so after the Ghost of Tsushima's release, meaning we'd see it sometime around July 24th or 17th or somewhere around there. Because it's not super uncommon for Sony to have two, pretty big releases somewhat close to each other. If we go back to 2018, God of War released on April 20th, and then we ended up getting Detroit Become Human, which was another pretty decent-sized exclusive, obviously nowhere near as big as God of War, but that game came out on, I believe, May 10th or so, so that's, pretty close overall release date-wise, and obviously Last of Us Part 2 and Ghost of Tsushima are bigger games than Detroit were, so that's why, it could be more like a month of a difference between the two, but that's really what I'm judging this all off of. I don't think we're going to know a new release date for at least another month or so. It just sucks because if everybody just stayed home right now and nobody went out, this whole coronavirus thing would probably be done with in like a month or two. But obviously it's just a bunch of countries are just all over the place. Like the States, for example, they're not doing a very good job, in my opinion, right now as far as handling this whole scenario, because you have, only very few states actually saying, yeah, you got to stay home. Other places just, it's all up to the people pretty much. So it sucks because I know this is something that we can defeat in, very quick time if everybody just stayed home. Obviously, there are people who are sick and they need to be taken care of, so that is going to add time onto this whole scenario. But yeah, it really depends on that, and that depends on how they're going to, if they're going to delay Ghost of Tsushima or not. If Ghost of Tsushima is delayed, then honestly, I don't think we'll see Last of Us Part 2 till September, maybe even October. It depends which one they want to have come out first. I think most people are hoping that we'll get Last of Us first, but that's up to PlayStation. So anyways, guys, those are my predictions for when I think the game will come out. I'm really hoping for a July release. Let me know down below when you think the game will release. Do you think Ghost of Tsushima will be delayed? I don't know. We will see. And yeah, stay safe.